It started with incessant kidnappings, of course, to communal clashes between some NURTW members and the Hausa community. Now in EKITI State, it's the popular Ojaoba market in the state capital, Ado-Ekiti, that has been raced down by fire in the early hours of today by unknown persons despite the imposed curfew. You recall yesterday the state governor had imposed a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. The youths accused the mobile police force of providing cover for the perpetrators while the act lasted. The police were also accused of obstructing traders from evacuating the goods and properties. The Commissioner of Police, Etop John James, took cover at the Oba's Palace as youths defied canisters and barricades and started an attack on police officials. From Ojaoba Market at the Ekiti State Capital, Ado-Ekiti raced down by yet to be identified men in Ekiti State. Well, we're joined by our correspondent who is there live from Ado-Ekiti. Rashid, thank you for joining us on the show this morning. Can you shed more light on the latest development now in Ekiti?
Well, it's quite a very unfortunate incident, and I want to say, as a matter of fact, that right now, Ado-Ekiti or Ekiti State is now in a windstorm. Let me put it that way, because this thing is actually stemming from that little matter of handbag snatching that later got to the attack of the houses and their stalls by the drivers' union, and this is believed to be a reprisal attack from other side of the divide now, which got the largest section of the Ojaoba market, which is popularly known here, the Erekeso market, which got it burnt overnight by arsonists. And over time, till the time while we are even talking till this time, some sections of the market are still on fire, though the governor has actually come to have an on-the-spot assessment. He actually regretted the whole situation, and the dicey position of this kind of happenings is that the government at a point may not be able to make a very strong pronouncement. So I believe the government is actually playing a very great level of diplomacy in getting this step, in getting it out of, in getting it controlled, because the governor actually said, well, there is nothing he can actually say but to appeal to the affected victims to please never take law into their hands and also let peace reign. He promised that asked about the curfew, that actually the curfew was put in place yesterday. He said he never knew that it's going to, that all what he thought was that the curfew must have made everything go down, but that the level at which it is now is like the government would apply another strategy. And in some other quarters, it's been said that the curfew actually gave those perpetrators a chance to do what they did, because all the local vigilantes, all the guards that always come to that market during the night stayed in their various homes. So they were unable to come around just because of the curfew. They did not man their post because there was curfew. So everybody stayed at home, which gave the people, the perpetrators, the chance to come to the market and wreak this havoc.
But
And
one would have
as it stands
expected,
now,
Rashid, that if everyone stayed at home during an active curfew, the policemen should be active to ensure that the curfew is strictly adhered to. What can you tell us about the role of the police in this incident?
well, I believe maybe that video is not yet downloaded, or if it is now. I actually took the Commissioner of Police, Dr. James, up this morning, asked him specifically that a curfew was imposed, and you are serving the responsibility of enforcing that law or that order. He said, and I quote, that fine, there is curfew in town, but the place affected, the Ojaoba itself, is an abode for some people. That no curfew will affect you in your various homes. That these people who perpetrated this act are dwellers in that marketplace. So they cannot be barred from their homes, and it is due to that that they have the chance to actually come to the market. And if we have to look at the larger population of those dwelling in that marketplace are the houses, because that is where the Sabo is actually situated. So, and today, as we can see, all abodes of houses in EKITI for now have been vacated by these people, and there is tension in town anyways. But the Commissioner of Police actually says there is the AIG Zone 8 is actually leading detachment of policemen down to EKITI now. They've actually called for reinforcement across neighboring states. Also, he stated that he denied the allegation that the Nigerian police provided cover for these perpetrators, because the victims were lamenting that some set of mobile policemen provided cover for these perpetrators, who they said were houses based on their ethnic relation and the like. That these people provided cover, that they even never made the traders to come in and get their goods, even at that time when the thing was at its peak, and that actually spawned into a little level of crisis this morning, where angry and irate youth actually got at the police, damaged the official vehicle of the Commissioner of Police, and the Commissioner of Police had to even take over in the Urban Palace. So that has been the position of the police for now.
It's all right. Well, we're also very troubled here because you reported incessant kidnappings, of course, the communal clash between drivers and the Hausa community, and we believe from what we've heard from you that this might also be a fallout of the story you reported a few days ago. But what exactly can you tell us about what is being done now to fetch out the perpetrators of this incident? Because what we have here is the status of unknown persons. You said earlier that this market is predominantly occupied by members of the Hausa community. Did I get that right?
Yes. Now,
And so, Rashid, just a minute, Rashid.
Those who have stores and shops in the market largely are Yorubas and Igbos.
Okay.
But that market area, the circumference of that place is known as the Sabo area.
I see.
Where the Hausas reside. So we can say the Yorubas and the Igbos have the shops in the morning and afternoon, and it serves as home for the Hausas in the night.
So you are saying that the greatest hit people now are the Yorubas and Igbos, who are shop owners in this market?
The Yorubas and Igbos they have much shops in this market.
And they are the hardest hit.
The Sabo is situated around that area also, which acts as a board for the houses. And you know the tension and the crisis is between the drivers and the houses, which is gradually snowballing to a communal clash now between the houses and the Yorubas.
It's all right. Rashid, thank you for joining us this hour. We'll be back with you subsequently when you have updates for us on the developing story from EKITI. All right, the story is just breaking. Popular Ojaoba market in the Ado-Ekiti, state capital of Ekiti, raced down early hours of today by unknown persons. The state governor already visited the place and talking about ways to stem the tide. We did not allow our guests to go. DIPO OLAYOKUN, thank you for staying the course. What do you make of all of this at this very critical time?
Yes, it's a very critical time. And excuse me. And I think we need to be very circumspect in arriving at conclusions now. I think this is where the government will have to put on its thinking cap, set up a committee to get to the root of this matter. Because if you say there's a coffee in town and some people manage to get to the market, while the members of the local vigilante could not get to the market to man their duty posts, I think there's a problem there. If the curfew will run from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., I don't think it will be difficult for the members of local vigilante to get to the market before 6 p.m. because this is an unavoidable incident. There's nothing we can say now that will cover the losses suffered by those whose shops and goods were destroyed in the inferno. There is no amount of promises from government because especially now if you look at the economic situation of the country, where the government can really take care of the losses.
Even when they're here to pay salaries.
Yes. But I think what we can do is there's a need for us to get to the matter, to know those who really perpetrated this madness, as I would call it, and if possible, bring them to book. But I think what is very, very important now is we need to be very cautious so that we don't create this sense of ethnic wahala, like the who most hard hit are the Igbos and the Yorubas. I think for now we should avoid that. Let us allow the government set up a committee of eminent people from Ekiti State that can really get into these matters. And then, what is very, very important is for the security agencies to be more alive to their responsibilities. Because some of us, I expect that in view of what happened in the past 2 days, the security agencies will have been on top of their game.
Especially in the view of the coffee.
Actually, because we had this idea of where you have a thick Hausa population, I think there should have been a way of making sure that nobody goes in there or nobody leaves that place to go and perpetrate any act of vandalism. It is very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, we just, Rashid also reported that the Commissioner of Police was actually taking cover in the Oba's Palace because the angry youths want to come on him, saying his men actually compromised at some level.
Yeah, it is very, very unfortunate if we go back into history and look at what the Ekiti people are capable of doing, especially when they are provoked. And it brings us back to what the former governor said, why he quickly made that call to Ayodele Fayoshi. Immediately there were signals that Fayoshi was going to win election. Because the man said he knows his people. If they feel that anything that is unclean happened, that by the time they go into the streets and whatever they can do, and then the military men that have taken over his state start mowing them down. So I think we can now begin to appreciate what this man did that time. Because if you look into, actually into the 1983 election wahala, some of us were, at least we witnessed it, and we knew what these people were capable of doing, especially when they are provoked. I don't think no amount of security agencies can really stop them when they want to go on rampage. I think what we need to do now, just to appeal to them, because Nigeria doesn't need any untoward situation now, especially as we march towards May 29. Every hand must be on deck to make sure that the peace that we have now, we sustain it. Because if some people predicted that Nigeria was going to break up in 2015 and were able to surmount that problem of the election of March 28 and April 11, I think what we need to do now is to make sure that we don't do anything that will precipitate crisis in Nigeria. And this thing needs to be very handled, especially when it has brought into the fray the issue of Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba.
Do you perceive any political coloration in all of this?
No, I don't think so. Because there's a need for you to now look at how the crisis of 3 days ago, how did it start? They said some guys are in the habit of snatching people's purses, snatching phones, and running into a community. It happens everywhere. And all of a sudden people said, no, we aren't going to take this one any longer. Yes, it might be possible for politicians to now come under and fuel, but at least it was actually a substantive matter that precipitated that crisis. But it's just to let you know the mood of an average Nigerian. Nigeria is an average Nigerian is like an explosion or an IED waiting to go off. Any slight provocation can make him to or her to do anything. That is why there's a need for us to study our environment and study the chemistry of an individual to make sure that we don't provoke ourselves. But what is very, very important, our leaders, political leaders should begin to tell Nigerians that what is very, very important is we need peace. Because let me tell you one thing, like those boys who wanted to attack the commissioner of police such that the man had to go and take cover in Anopa's palace. They are very lucky that they are not in Lagos, because the IG Umbu has ordered that any policeman killed, he will kill about 20. And the policeman can go, especially when you want to embarrass a whole CP. I think there's a need for us to appeal to those young boys that they need to tread cautiously. Because when you threaten a police commissioner to the extent that he went to take cover, you know the implication. That means the man was running from them. And you never can tell, it might not go down with some of his boys. So I think there's a need for us to appeal, to apply common sense here so that we don't get ourselves into serious crisis.
Thank you very much, DIPO OLAYOKUN, for joining us yet again on the show. We're going to have you join us subsequently.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a commercial break now and we'll be back with our closing remarks. Don't go away.
It is often said that the future belongs to those who are inspired to dream. Dreams of a future where we're more than able to move the entire world.
Mom, one day I'm gonna be a superstar performer.
Yes, one day.
Rich and creamy peak, extra fortified with 28 vitamins and minerals. Here's to 60 years of nourishing dreams and inspiring the future. The future is bright. Reach for your peak.
Every day of the week will bring to you divergent views on news making the headline.
If people who commit crime are being rewarded with national honors, with national appointments, then where are we going in this country?
It's not about whether it was Jonathan or whether you are going to have a Buhari. It's the kind of political structure we run.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
We are talking about a Buhari who at 41 became head of state. The man did not exhibit the attribute of somebody that is strong intellectually.
So, comrade, you're saying if you become governor, you're going to bring back Okada? You will bring back the market women on the streets?
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
On Core Digest, we'll bring all of this to the court of public opinion, where you are the judge. My producer just told me we have 2 minutes to get out of your face. I wish you could spend more, but thank you for joining us on the show today. I am Nifebi Oguntoye.
And I am Omotayo Alo, and I'm ready to get out.
It's all right.
Thanks for watching.
And really, that wraps it for this week on Core Digest. Core Digest Extra comes up on Saturday, and you get a lighter mood of the show with Frank
A lot of
Komolabe.
entertainment backed up with it. Of course, we keep you abreast of daily happenings, and at the same time, make you relaxed.
That's
actually.
Right. All right, do you join us again next week for another exciting edition. Thank you for being there. Every day of the week will bring to you divergent views on news making the headline.
If people who commit crime are being rewarded with national honors, with national appointments, then where are we going in this country?
It's not about whether it was Jonathan or whether you are going to have a Buhari. It's the kind of political structure we run.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
We are talking about a Buhari who at 41 became head of state. The man did not exhibit the attribute of somebody that is strong intellectually.
So, comrade, you're saying if you become governor, you're going to bring back Okada? You will bring back the market women on the streets?
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
On Core Digest, we'll bring all of this to the court of public opinion, where you are the judge.